Good evening and thank you for joining us. An Alabama man is dead after a car crash earlier this evening. MHP Troop G Public Affairs Division Sergeant Derek Beckham says the crash happened around 6 o'clock on Highway 12 near Lone Oak Road. It's actually near the power plant in Lowndes County. At this time, the cause of the wreck has not been released, but Mississippi Highway Patrol is investigating. Coroner Greg Merchant has confirmed that the person who died is from Alabama and it was a single car accident. We'll have more on this story as it develops. It's been almost a month since a devastating tornado ripped through the community of Hamilton. Now the community is coming together as they transition from victims to survivors. Our Cash Matlock has the story.
Can you imagine losing everything? Can you imagine, a little boy saying he's seen the roof come off, with his mother holding him?
On April 14th, the community of Hamilton was devastated by an EF2 tornado that left one dead, several injured, and many without a home or place to stay. Today, community members are moving past the tragedy and looking forward to the future with Hamilton Strong Celebration Day.
Today is that day that we're just going to relax, we're going to sit back, we're going to enjoy some free food, some music, some entertainment.
Because you can't just keep working without some rest, so we felt like putting this together and giving them a chance to come out and just relax, get their strength back, and go back at it.
Event organizers say their main focus is to help the children affected by the storm.
We as adults, we are able to channel that and let go of that stress in different areas. Maybe even going back to work can kind of help us. But these kids, they're still dealing with it. This provides them a way to forget about everything. Forget about it all. Forget about maybe they're staying with a relative, or they're having to rent a very small place, or they may have boxes and have no idea where their favorite toy is in that box, or they might not even have a favorite toy anymore.
Jessica Gray is a Monroe County 911 dispatcher who was on duty the night of the tornado. She says it's a night she'll never forget.
I'm used to taking a lot of difficult phone calls. What I do get overwhelmed by is the amount of volunteers and the amount of support that steps up immediately. It was less than 10 minutes after that storm lifted off the ground that we had hundreds of volunteers filing into Monroe County from all over the state.
The celebration is just one example of how residents of Hamilton are slowly rebuilding and recuperating.
We are still here, we are still fighting, we still love you, and we're going to rejoice because we're still here.
We're not only Hamilton strong, but we're Hamilton stronger.
Members of Abundant Life UPC say they are still taking donations and there are still many families in the Hamilton area that are in need. Floodwaters in Pearl River County are causing multiple issues for residents and first responders. On Saturday morning, multiple roads were underwater, causing traffic delays throughout the Poplarville area. The flooding has been most severe in the White Sands and Hillsdale communities. Officials said the flooding has caused a train to derail just north of Hillsdale Road. According to Chief Deputy Shane Tucker with the Sheriff's Department, 14 cars derailed on the Norfolk Southern train. EOC Director Danny Manley said no injuries have been reported. Heavy rains appear to be to blame in a fatal crash on I-59 as well. Sergeant Chase Elkins said it appeared a Freightliner was stopped in the northbound lane due to standing water on the interstate. A Poplarville man driving a Toyota Corolla was traveling north and ran into the back of the Freightliner. The Poplarville man was pronounced dead on the scene. The driver of the Freightliner was not injured. Two barges and another boat collided in the Houston Ship Channel Friday afternoon. Channel, rather, not canal. No one was hurt, but the accident is causing backups in the area. One barge capsized and one is significantly damaged. Authorities closed the channel so the scene could be cleared. The barges were carrying 25,000 barrels of a gas product, which leaked into the water. The Houston Ship Channel was closed for several days in late March and early April due to contamination after a fire at a local chemical plant. Now time to turn things over to meteorologist Kendall Smith for a first look at our forecast. Kendall?
Well, unfortunately, Riley, it is starting to rain once again. This is taking a look atop of Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon, Alabama, where temperatures are currently sitting in those upper 60s, but we are seeing wet roadways. So this is the current setup on radar. We are seeing those showers and thunderstorms continuing to push to the north and east. At this time, the strongest of these storms are located around Vernon, Millport, as well as Sulligent, but they will continue to move out of our area. So more rain and storms are on their way, but we will start to dry out by Monday.
Thanks, Kendall. A retired police officer in Tennessee stands accused of murdering a furniture store manager. The victim's mother is speaking out, saying her son had been concerned about a particular truck driver. Chris Luther has the story.
Thomas was a great man.
Joanne Macklin says her son Thomas Hartman cherished his children more than anything. 41-year-old Hartman had 3 children, 1 adult and 2 under the age of 10.
These were revolved around him.
Those 3 children have lost their father. Police say Timothy Saunders, a truck driver, got into an argument with Hartman, an assistant manager at American Freight Furniture in the back loading dock. According to court documents, Saunders retrieved a gun, came back, and shot Hartman once in the head. Macklin is a truck driver herself and was on the road when her oldest grandson called to tell her the news.
They said, somebody killed my daddy today.
Macklin says her son was not one to fight.
He would turn and walk away. And I can almost guarantee you that's what happened yesterday, because I know my son.
WMC Action News 5 has learned that Saunders was a former police officer in Clarksville, Tennessee. According to state records, Saunders, who's pictured here on the Clarksville Police Department Facebook page, was a police officer for 28 years and retired as a sergeant in 2017. Macklin says her son told her he had a problem with one particular truck driver.
If I'm not mistaken, I know exactly which truck driver he's talking about.
She says Hartman told her about an argument he would have with the driver that would arrive around noon.
Well, I'm here. You need to get me unloaded. Tommy would explain to him. People are at lunch. I can't leave the front.
Now she's wondering what went through the head of a former officer that led him to allegedly shoot her son in the head.
I guess we'll never know.
Macklin says she wants the harshest penalty possible for Saunders, and she plans to be at every court hearing.
According to Starkville Police, the canine distemper virus has resurfaced in the area. On Friday, the department posted to their Facebook page informing the public that 3 raccoons within the city limit tested positive for the virus over the last month and a half. Starkville PD says at this time there are no reports of area dogs with the virus. The virus is highly contagious and is commonly found in such wild animals as skunks, foxes, dogs, raccoons, ferrets, and wolves.
This is something that we see, periodically. This isn't the first time we put things out about it over the years. It's a highly contagious virus. We just want to bring awareness to it that we are seeing cases again. These are in wild raccoons that we've seen them at this point, but it is can be seen in other canine species. We just recommend that you stay up to date on your shots with your pets.
Distemper is spread by direct contact, sneezing or coughing, or indirect contact, sharing bedding and water bowls with an infected animal. It was a day for celebration in Columbus. MUW seniors gathered today to get their degree. Rent Auditorium in Whitfield Hall was filled with hundreds of the class of 2019's friends and family members. This year's guest speaker was Colonel Samantha Weeks, commander of the 14th Training Wing at Columbus Air Force Base. Around 430 students applied for the spring graduation. 2 ceremonies were held. East Mississippi Community College's Golden Triangle campus held its GTEX commencement ceremony earlier today. This is the first group of seniors enrolled at the Golden Triangle Early College High School, which is the first early college high school in Mississippi. 54 graduates marched across the Lyceum Auditorium to receive their diplomas. 41 of those graduates will earn an associate's degree or a technical certificate. EMCC says the pilot program is backed by the Mississippi Department of Education and has been a major success. Coming up, the threat of rain couldn't keep these festival goers away. We'll have more on that after the break. Welcome back. For nearly half a century, the Gumtree Festival in downtown Tupelo has been a major event in the community. And for the first time in its 48-year history, the Gumtree Festival was moved indoors to the Bancorp South Arena. Organizers decided that with all the rain we've had in recent days, it would have been tough on both the artists and those in attendance to hold it outdoors. The crowds really responded, as attendance may have been even higher than normal in the morning. The festival director, Kit Stafford, says there is one advantage for art shoppers having things inside. They can see what their prospect piece of art will look like at home. A sounding alarm saves lives, and that is why the American Red Cross was out in Tupelo neighborhoods today to make sure residents had working smoke alarms. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
Red Cross volunteers gathered at the Lee Acres Storm Shelter on Fillmore Street to receive their marching orders. They were part of the nationwide Red Cross initiative called Sound the Alarm.
Tupelo is a signature city in our national event that's been going on the last 3 weeks, and it's to install 100,000 smoke alarms in homes to save lives and reduce injury through home fires. And today, Tupelo, our goal is 420 smoke alarms.
Before setting out, they received instructions from their team leaders.
Tell your documenter how many were there, how many you tested and were working, and how many you installed.
And Brown says having working smoke alarms gives residents an early enough warning to mean the difference between life and death.
Fires happen at odd times. It's not just when you're sitting up and a fire just happens, but in the middle of the night if a fire happens, and that's our #1 response to Red Cross is fires. I know you see us doing tornadoes, but our #1 response is home fires. And at night, in the middle of the night, if you have a fire, you have 2 minutes, say you have 2 minutes to get out that home. Well, it's important to have working smoke alarms in your home to give you all of that 2 minutes you need to get out.
And the teams then fanned out and went to homes where during earlier canvassing of neighborhoods agreed to have smoke alarms installed. And the teams made sure residents knew how to test their alarms.
We've got 2 buttons. The top is test, TNT. So you push that button, hold it, and it's going to beep. If you need to quiet it, I put one in your kitchen for you. Not right on your stove, but near it, because most fires start in the kitchen. So let's say you get a little smoke from the stove and you need to quiet it and you know that that's the only cause and you feel safe. The bottom is the hush button. It's kind of like you patting the kid on the bottom and tell them to hush. Top for test, bottom for hush.
And the Red Cross says unlike smoke alarms of the past, these models have batteries that last 10 years without needing to be replaced. They recommend you test your units during the 2 times you change your clocks during the year. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Tupelo.
The Red Cross reminds you that you can get a smoke alarm installed in your home anytime just by giving their office a call.
Well, wind and flooding reports are still coming in from the thunderstorms that passed through earlier today, and more rain is on its way. More on those rain chances coming up next.
Your first alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Kendall Smith.
Well, another soggy evening across our area. This is taking a live look in downtown Tupelo, where the good news is we are currently seeing a break in those showers, but we're going to keep those rain chances around because it's going to come right back in during the overnight hours. Temperatures are currently sitting in those mid-70s in Tupelo, and across the board, that's where we're at. We're in the mid-60s for much of the area, slightly warmer to our south. We're looking at 68 in Philadelphia as well as 67 in Carthage. So pretty favorable conditions for this time of the year, and we are not going to drop very much for your overnight lows. Temperatures are only going to drop into those low to mid-60s for our area over regionally. So this is our current setup on radar. All of those showers and thunderstorms that we just saw over the past hour are starting to lift to our northeast. Currently, where the strongest of those storms are pushing into West Alabama at this time. So we're getting rid of this round of rain, and we have one more coming in right behind this. We see this cold front. This is what has been giving us all of the shower activity today. But look at this. Down in Louisiana, this is our last batch of rain that is going to be making its way into our area during the overnight hours, bringing us that last batch of rain. So delving into those rain chances a little bit better for you. We're going to keep those rain chances around during your overnight hours. This is stopping this around 2 a.m. We see some more showers and thunderstorms popping up. This is that last batch, because by the time you wake up on Sunday morning, look at this. Most of that rain is out of our area. Mostly cloudy skies are expected. And then by the afternoon hours, the rain has moved out of our area, and we're just seeing mostly cloudy skies. But then by the evening, maybe some sunshine. So if you have any outdoor plans with mom, just hold off. Wait until the afternoon and evening. Looks to be pretty favorable. So keeping those rain chances around until lunchtime. Temperatures are going to make it into those mid-70s. And then maybe some sunshine by your afternoon and evening. Area-wide, looking to make it into those mid to upper 70s for the most part. 77 in Macon, 77 in Louisville as well, maybe slightly warmer for our southern counties. Check this out, though. That high pressure starts to build right back in, right behind that cold front. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, lots of sunshine, drier conditions. This is much needed. It's going to be a pretty great start to your week. So for this evening, dropping down into those mid-60s, keeping those rain chances around, and winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles an hour. So for tomorrow, for Mother's Day, Storms and showers, especially in the morning hours, but Monday, Tuesday, and into the middle of the week looks to be sunny, dry conditions, and then we'll stay dry through the end of this week.
Welcome back. Hollywood is taking a stand against a controversial abortion ban passed in Georgia as Alabama moves to pass an even more restrictive ban. Chaos in the Capitol forced lawmakers to delay the vote. CNN's Natasha Chen has the details.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Committee amendment is tabled. Senator Chambliss.
There was no motion. This shouting match happened Thursday as Alabama senators considered a bill that would ban abortions at every stage of pregnancy from conception on and criminalize the procedure for doctors. Hey, hey! The battle over abortion rights has been raging since the landmark case of Roe v. Wade in 1973, which legalized the procedure nationwide. But now certain states are drafting restrictive bills in preparation for a lawsuit in the nation's highest court.
This is the first time in 46 years that the makeup on the Supreme Court has changed, where there's possibly enough conservatives on there who would believe Roe v. Wade is incorrectly decided.
Outside of Alabama, a so-called heartbeat bill has been passed in several states, some already blocked in courts. Those laws prohibit abortions after a fetal heartbeat can be detected about 6 weeks into a pregnancy before many women know they're pregnant. And that's causing a problem for Georgia's nearly $10 billion film and TV industry.
Our industry is taking a stand, women are taking a stand, and we're saying no more.
David Simon, who created The Wire, said his production company won't film in Georgia anymore. He's joined by Mark Duplass, Counter Narrative Films, and Killer Films. CNN reached out to Marvel, which films Avengers movies in Georgia, and AMC Studios, which films The Walking Dead in the Peach State. Neither have responded yet. Natasha Chen, CNN, Atlanta.
And MSU, Courtney has those highlights coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Mississippi State kicked off the series with a shutout over in-state rival Ole Miss. And the Bulldogs have Ethan Small to thank for throwing this for 10 strikeouts in his 5 innings pitching for Game 2. Small would not be on the mound, and this time it wasn't the weather keeping fans on the edge of their seats. Let's get to Swayze Field for Game 2 between Ole Miss and MSU. Bottom of the first, Cole Zabowski at the plate hits a single out to right center field. That brings Tyler Keenan home for the first run of the evening. We head to the next batter, Cooper Johnson. He's also going to hit an RBI single. Mangum confused in the outfield, and Thomas Dillard tacks on the second Ole Miss run. And then to the top of the third inning where the bases are loaded, Jordan Westberg walked by Doug Nikhazy. Dustin Skelton able to come home, and it's a 1-run game. The fourth inning, Rowdy Jordan hits the ground ball. The Rebels get the double play, but McNamee comes home for the tying run, and it's 2-all heading to the fifth. But after 4 strikeouts, JT Ginn with a wild pitch that allows Keenan to come on home, and Ole Miss able to retake the lead, but Mississippi State gets the series win with a double play to end the game in the ninth. The final in Oxford, 8-4. It was a 6-run frame that did it for the Diamond Dogs. Ole Miss will try and hold off the sweep tomorrow at noon. 7-seed National MSU taking on 10-seed TCU to men's tennis super regionals. The doubles match, Nicholas Braun and Giovanni Ardini scored game point to win the set and go 4-2. Would win the games to go up 1-0. In the singles, Nuno Borges returns the serve and scores a point with a forehand finish. And another singles match, Oradini with the serve forces TCU to go long and with the shot as he scores a point. And onto the court next to him, Borges again in a long back and forth rally forces TCU into an error and gets the point to take 3 sets to lead 1 in his matchup. But the road to a national championship ends in Starkville. TCU gets the dub over MSU 4-2. Next up, 4 Bulldogs compete in the singles and doubles championship later this month. North Half Finals for high school baseball continues to be delayed. Lafayette at Saltillo postponed to Monday. New Hope at Pontotoc, Stringer at Hamilton, and North Pontotoc at Boonville all being postponed until Monday. Smithville at West Union, the 2 teams played a North Half Final earlier today. Game 1 of the doubleheader resulted in Smithville taking the win over West Union 8-1, and then West Union actually gets the win in Game 2 over Smithville 5-0. They will have that deciding game 3 also on Monday. Well, checking in on some Saturday scores in the major leagues. Cubs beat the Brewers 2-1. The Cardinals end up falling to the Pirates 2-1 as well. And that rubber match will be played on Sunday as well, or a 4-game series between the Pirates and the Cardinals will be played tomorrow for the deciding win. That's it for sports. The last look at your weather is coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Well, showers and storms are likely, especially during your morning hours for your Mother's Day. But the good news is, during the afternoon and evening, we start to dry out. And then check this out. Monday and Tuesday and on into the middle of the week looks really nice.
That's good. I feel like I've actually forgotten what the sun looks like.
Well, you're about to see it again.
Good,
so.
good. I was going to say, I mean, it's been a while.
Just a little bit, but we have a full week in store for sunshine. Much needed.
That's good. And so tomorrow we need to kind of stay indoors during the beginning of the day and then take the Mother's Day celebrations outdoors.
Exactly, and during the evening, you're right.
Got it.
We'll have some plans coming up tomorrow.
Nice. Well, we hope everyone has a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.